Good morning. Welcome to our veterans and service members. We're grateful to have you here with us today. Even more importantly, we are thankful for your commitment and sacrifices to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. If you are an active member of any branch of the U.S. military, please rise. If you are a former member of any branch of the U.S. military, please rise. If you are a veteran that has served in any war zone for the United States of America, would you please rise? Thank you all so much for your commitment, your dedication, and the sacrifices you made in order to serve for all of us. Now, if you are a U.S. citizen that has freedoms guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution, please rise and thank a veteran or service member for their sacrifice.
The reason we celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th dates back to 1918, when an armistice between the Allies and Germany was signed that essentially ended World War I. The first Armistice Day was celebrated the following November 11th. World War I was billed as the war that was to end all wars, but of course it did not. So, by the 1950s, with so many American men and women veterans of World War II and the conflict in Korea, some thought the term Armistice Day was outdated. In the early 1950s, a shoe salesman from Emporia, Kansas, named Alvin King, thought Armistice Day was too limited. He had lost family members in World War II and thought all American veterans should be honored on November 11th. So he had formed a committee, and in 1953, the city of Emporia, Kansas, celebrated Veterans Day. President Dwight Eisenhower liked the idea so much that in 1954, Eisenhower formally changed November 11th to Veterans Day. In 2003, Congress passed a resolution declaring Emporia, Kansas to be the founding city of Veterans Day.
Now we're going to have a few words from our student body president, Lily Muffin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lillian Monson, and as Scott said, I'm the student body president. And I would like to thank all of our guests for attending today. And to go off of Logan, I'd also like to share some more history. On November 11th, 106 years ago, one of the most brutal conflicts the world had seen has finally come to an end at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month. From then on, that day was known as Armistice Day. The 11th of November became an annual celebration of the end of the First World War. Over time, however, this celebration grew to something much larger in the United States. What began as a commemoration of peace at the end of a specific conflict then became a celebration of our veterans to all world wars. As a result of this, on June 1st of 1954, legislation was passed that made Veterans Day a national holiday, which aimed at celebrating those who fought for our freedom that are still with us today. I hope that we have achieved this goal and made you all feel welcome today. I, as well as everyone, recognize the significance and dedication you gave to our country. Today marks the 7th year of putting on this celebration here at OSKALOOSA High School, and it honors us all deeply to have such brave men and women in our presence. Again, I hope you realize how much we appreciate you today, but also every single day. Thank you to all the service members who came here today, and thank you for your service.
Right now, pay no attention at all to your program. Now we're going to have the American Legion Auxiliary going to come up here to present some goodies.
With the OSKALOOSA American Legion Auxiliary, Unit number 36. Today, the American Legion has 3 quilts of valor to present. Many of you were here in 22 when we presented Dwayne Marks his quilt and told you about Mo Moses, whose quilt was given to him at a later event in November. In 23, we presented quilts to Floyd Edwards and Ken Bailey at F.W. Houston Senior Center. The Quilt of Valor Foundation began in 2003. It was Catherine Romer's dream to comfort veterans by draping the veteran in the warmth of a quilt. From the beginning, Catherine had definite ideas regarding the standards of these quilts. Number one, it had to be handmade. Number two, it had to be publicly awarded, not just passed out like some pamphlet or brochure. There should be a label placed on the quilt that unequivocally says, "Thank you for your service, sacrifice, and valor in serving our nation." Each of these quilts is registered on a national website, and at this time, there's 400,000 of these registered. Our three recipients have been members of the community for many years. Our first one, George Larison, if you would come forward. Grew up in the Clough area and enlisted in the Army at the age of 19. He trained at Camp Roberts in California, then to Fort Bliss in Texas. George then served during the Korean conflict from 1950 to 53. He was stationed in Kyushu, Japan, a difficult place to be with the animosity against the U.S. because of World War II. While there, he manned a 50 cal anti-air turret gun. Along with protecting the area from Korean attacks, he was also the section commander in charge of instructing the wounded. When U.S. planes landed with wounded, he would help with unloading and getting them to safety. He left the military as a corporal and returned to the States to work on oil rigs in the Texas Panhandle, where he met his wife, Georgie. After marrying, they moved back to Jefferson County, where they raised their two daughters, Debbie and Dina. George and Georgie were known for owning the Larison grocery store on the east side of the square for 23 years. After closing the store, he worked for the Kansas Turnpike for 15 years. He has 3 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Corporal George Larison, we are proud to present this quilt of valor to you, and thank you for your service to our country. Born in Blaine, Kansas in 1925, Bob joined the U.S. Marine Corps in 44 and stayed through 46. Bob, would you come forward? He was stationed at Camp Pendleton, California, and received the Good Conduct and Rifle Marksmanship medals. Bob was a corporal when he was discharged. After his time in the Marine Corps, Bob attended Kansas State University with a degree in agriculture and economics. Between 1953 and 82, he worked for the federal government in areas of soil conservation and farmers' home administration. In retirement, you might have seen Bob at his liquor store, helping Barnett Family Funeral Home, or maybe he was your real estate agent. Bob is married to Joanne, and they have 4 children, Tom, Marlene, Diane, and Tim. Bob, your quilt was started by Irene Wabaunsee. She chose the panel and started the star block. In the center of the star block is a heart, which commemorates Irene and her love for veterans. Corporal Robert D. O'Shea, the Malone family, would like to present this quilt to you with our great thanks and pride for your service to our country. Thank you. Our third recipient was not able to be with us today. Him and his wife came down with illness and were not able to come. His name is Arthur Russell Johnson. He was well known as the OSKALOOSA Jefferson County Extension Agent. He served during the Korean conflict in 50 and 51. He served at Fort Riley, Kansas, and Fort Collins, Colorado. He left the Army as a sergeant first class. He married his wife Betty and had 2 children, Kathy and Kirk. He was the principal of Alma Lutheran Schools before becoming our extension agent. With great pride and thanks, we will present this at his home at a later date. So we appreciate that. This is for first class. Most of you have noticed all the artwork down here. Part of that is for our auxiliaries poppy poster event that we have every year. And if you were here last year, we presented winners for the poppy poster contest, and we'd like to do it again this year. This year, the participants were the 2nd graders and 6th graders. If you look at the front of the stage, you'll see on each side a wreath. Those 2 wreaths, the poppies are made by the 2nd graders. The individual poppies were then attached to the form to make each wreath. Would Mrs. Brakes and Miss Van Dyke, 2nd grade classes, please stand? Are you here? You guys did a beautiful job, and we are so excited that you did this for us. It makes our stage look so gorgeous. Thank you. As a thank you, at a later date, the auxiliary will provide ice cream treats for each of the 2nd graders as a thank you. The pictures displayed down front, they were made by the 6th graders. They have painted the backgrounds and added clay to some of the flowers and to other articles in the picture. We have some great artists in this school, and I'm sure most of you have noticed going up and down the halls, there are some great artists here. We have some, with Miss Schuler's, Miss Patterson's, and Miss White's 6th graders, please stand. Three winners have been chosen, one from each class. The winners will receive a $10 gift certificate to the Country Corner Variety Store. Would the following people come forward and pick up your picture and stand to the left? We'll take a quick picture. In Miss Schuler's class, Maddie Pullen. In Miss Patterson's class, Malik Tatum. In Miss Wise class, Rochelle Knoll. Each of those classes will receive ice cream bars in the near future for all their appreciation for their participation. Also, we need to have Ms. Sinder come forward. Sorry, I messed that one up. Job with the students and bringing the importance of the poppy to their attention. The final acknowledgement, I would like to ask Dwayne Marks to please come forward. Yeah, come on, Dwayne. Don't cause me trouble now. is coming from the American Legion and from the American Legion Auxiliary of OSKALOOSA. If you've driven around the square, you've seen all the flags that are standing around the square along some side streets. I want you to know that that was brought on by this gentleman, Mr. Dwayne Marks. Please give him a hand. Now, you can go sit down now. If you've ever counted those flags, there is 190 of those flags, and we are still accepting any nominations you want to make for those flags. We will make room. And they are put up for 5 holidays out of the season. At this time, if you helped put up these flags, if you please stand. Stephanie Aldridge and the cross-country team. Are they here? Any cross-country people? Members of the Jolly Juniors 4-H, do we have any 4-Hers? And Mr. Boone Heston and his football team. Young people you saw standing at this time took the time after school, because we do this at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, to come down to the square and help us put up these flags, and also come back 2 or 3 days later and take them down. Their energy is over the top. I mean, it will almost kill you to be around them. They've got so much. And we greatly appreciate all the help. Please give them another round of applause. And lastly, I want to thank Mr. Stottlemyre and his Veterans Day Committee for allowing the auxiliary to come in and do this. They didn't have to, but they've been very welcoming and accommodating for us. So thank you, Mr. Stottlemyre.
Mr. Keandre Clemens, please come up.
My name is Keandre Clemens, and I'm a junior at OSKALOOSA High School. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Mr. Craig Thurber. Mr. Thurber graduated from Royal Mountain High School and Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas. Thurber is a certified athletic trainer who works for Stewart Health in Topeka. Before taking his position, Mr. Thurber worked for LMH Health in Lawrence. While at LMH, Mr. Thurber served as a trainer here at OSKALOOSA High School. Thurber's father was a master sergeant in the United States Army, where he served in the 35th Infantry Division. I would personally like to thank Mr. Thurber for all he has done for athletes at OSKALOOSA, and for speaking today at our Veterans Day program.
Good morning, everyone, especially to all the veterans in this today. My name is Craig Thurber, and I'm honored to be here today to speak to you. As many of you know, Veterans Day is a way for us to celebrate our veterans and the sacrifices they made. We would not have the freedoms we have today if it were not for these brave men and women. But we cannot forget the men and women who are not with us today. These are the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice during their service. It's our duty to make sure their legacies never fade and they are forever remembered. So I'd like to take a moment and say thank you to the veterans who are in attendance, and to the ones who could not be here with us today. The sacrifices you have made for us do not go forgotten. Veterans Day is a day I hold dear to my heart. I grew up in a military family. My father took pride in being a soldier and serving his country. But he also took pride in being a father. He always took time to coach me in sports and made all the games he could. He was a man of few words, but the words he spoke always got his point across. He was a man who put others before himself, and if you were close with him, you knew he always had the best interest at heart. One of his favorite sayings was, hey Sarah, is there a chance you can get me that? He carried himself with honor and pride, and he put our nation's colors on. He was never afraid to put himself in harm's way. That meant defending the ones he loved, as I am sure the veterans here today can relate to. My father joined the military at the age of 18. His journey began in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and then eventually to Leavenworth, Kansas, after my mom came down there. His time in the infantry division took him on deployments to Germany, Bosnia. He even helped participate in Hurricane Katrina relief, and then finally to Afghanistan in 2006. His deployment to Afghanistan in 2006 is when Veterans Day took on a different meaning for my family and I. His deployment began in March of 2006. I was 11 years old at the time, and I thought it was just another deployment for my dad. He had taken so many of them before, so why would this one be any different? Like I said before, my dad was always willing to go defend his country, and this was another chance for him to do so. My dad was helping train Iraqi soldiers to enhance their fighting styles and skills. That way they could better defend themselves when we were no longer there. Many of these soldiers were passionate about serving with the U.S. soldiers, and my father took great pride in that. My dad would ask us to send him American candy, and I always wondered why. So I found out that he would take that candy with him during patrols in the city and hand them out to the local citizens. He did this to create a relationship with the local community, and he did it with a smile on his face. During this deployment, my dad had been on missions to gather information on the enemy where they were conducting operations at. But there was one mission that was not like the others. This mission was taking him to Spira, Afghanistan. Before my dad left, he had told my mom, my sister, and I an extra long hug for him because he did not know when he would be able to speak to us next. This was due to him going on this mission deep in the mountains, and communication would be limited and his supplies would be limited. On September 15th, 2006, around 6 in the morning, my family was awakened by two military men in dress blues knocking on our door. Dress blues is a formal uniform servicemen and women wear. These two men knocked on our door, and as a military family, you know that knock can only mean a few things, and we feared the worst. These men told my mom the news that my dad had been shot during his mission and had passed away. It was at that point that life and the meaning of Veterans Day changed for me. I never understood why it happened to my family, but as I've grown older, I've come to terms that my father was doing what he loved when he passed. I was angry with him for going to defend our country and for being taken away from me at such a young age. But as I have met more people that have had the same life experiences, it has shown that all the veterans join the fight to defend the ones they love and our freedoms. With that comes great pride, knowing my father held his country and others so far above himself that he was willing to lay his life down for you and I. My father was awarded the Combat Infantryman's Badge, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart Medal following his deployment. The shirt I have on today has many names on the back. The names of soldiers who gave the ultimate sacrifice during their time in the service. By seeing and speaking veterans' names, it is a way we can make sure they aren't forgotten and their stories live on. I challenge all of you when you see a veteran to extend a thank you for your service. Chances are that will make their day, and you never know, you may learn something new from their stories. We owe it to these men and women to make sure their sacrifices and stories do not go forgotten. So thank you for allowing me to speak to you today and tell my dad's story. My dad, Master Sergeant Bernie Day.
Thank you, Craig. Now the OHS band, JHS band, and friends. We're going to play the military medley. Veterans are invited to stand when the military brand song is played.
The United States Navy.
I'd like everyone to please stand. Playing taps. It's very on good. My name is Rod Stottlemyre. I'm a high school history teacher here at OSKALOOSA High School. I would like to start by thanking our veterans and our current military personnel joining us today. I'd also like to thank the many soldiers, sailors, airmen, and sports personnel we are currently employed around the world. Including my nephew, Leland Keyser. In my 35 years of teaching, with 25 being here at OSKALOOSA, I firmly believe this is the best thing that we do as a school community. I believe that stems from the fact that everyone is always 100% on board to make this day successful. There's so many people who do so many things that it's incredible. And I hope that long after some of us are gone, that this continues to happen every year. Like I said, I hope this event will continue to grow and will always be a special day at OSKALOOSA School District. Thank you, veterans, and everyone for everything you do for us. Go Bears. We're going to conclude our program today with a playing of Home on the Range. Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Students, go back to fourth hour.